On a sun-splashed Friday afternoon in South Carolina, we welcome you to the Low Country Classic. Game 1 of Day 1 brings the Flying Fleet of Erskine head-to-head with the Carson-Newman Eagles. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagles Sports Network. Delighted you could join me on this Friday afternoon in South Carolina. USC Beaufort, the host of the Low Country Classic, and the Eagles will take on the Sharks, the Sand Sharks, later this afternoon at 3 p.m. Carson-Newman comes into today's contest 4-0, fresh off a sweep at the Big Region Preseason Preview Invitational hosted by King in Johnson City last weekend on Sunday and Monday. Took down Glenville State, Davis and Elkins, Concord, and Converse. As we're about set to get underway here, they just had the meeting at home plate between the two head coaches and the umpires. We're about set to get underway. I believe the national anthem is coming up in just a moment. Erskine, meanwhile, coming into today's contest, sits at 0-4 on the season. Will be playing in its first neutral site meeting of the season. On Wednesday, they fell to USC Aiken in both doubleheader games, both by the score of 4-2. These two teams come together for the first time since 2022. As we will look at the starting lineups for both of these sides. With Erskine, their lineup consists of right fielder number 12, Savannah Coaster, leading off, followed by the catcher, Hannah Lewis, batting second. Gabby Brose is the third baseman, batting third. Summer Nelson is the designated player, batting fourth. Kennedy Crouch is the first baseman. She bats in the 5 spot. Batting sixth is the center fielder, Amber Clark. Batting seventh, Gracie Merrill. She's playing second base today. Batting eighth is Kara West, the left fielder, and Ava Rogers, the shortstop, rounds things out as the 9-hitter. And Layla Clayton will get the ball in the circle, as this is the Carson-Newman lineup that she will be facing, that we'll get a look at in the bottom of the first inning. Carson-Newman, the home team in this neutral site meeting. Malia Smith is batting leadoff, playing at shortstop. Reese Winchester's the second baseman, batting second. Macaulay Bailey playing at first base, batting third. Batting cleanup is the catcher and freshman Anne-Marie Richards. 3 freshmen in the first 4 hitters for Carson-Newman. A little bit of a change from the lineup we saw in Johnson City. First 3 remain the same, but Anne-Marie has bumped up in the lineup. Grace Gregory is batting 5th, playing at third base. Sarah Walker is the designated player, batting 6th. She has the lone home run on the season for Carson-Newman. And then the bottom part of the order is the entire outfield for Carson-Newman, and they have done a strong job at getting on base. Addie Saunders, tied for the team high in batting average, bats 7th, playing in left field. Shelby Armstrong's the right fielder, batting 8th, and then Abby Martin is the center fielder, batting 9th. She is also tied with Saunders, both batting .556 coming into today's contest against the Flying Fleet of Erskine. As we have the Carson-Newman lineup being announced currently. And then in the circle for Carson-Newman will be sophomore pitcher Lorelei Spradlin. She got the ball in the opening day contest, a 2-1 win over Glenville State to open up the 2026 season. As now we will pause for the playing of the national anthem.
Thank you. Let's play ball.
Back on the Eagles Sports Network ahead of first pitch between the Eagles and the Flying Fleet in Game 1 of Day 1 of the Low Country Classic, hosted by USC Beaufort. Beaufort will tangle with the Flying Fleet in the next game of this triple header today. That is estimated for a 1 p.m. first pitch, and then the Eagles will play in the last game of the day against the host in the Sand Sharks at around 3 p.m. I will have that game for you on the Eagles Sports Network as well. As Lorelei Spradlin heads into the circle for Carson-Newman, the sophomore out of Blacksburg, Virginia, coming into her second season, elevated into that lead role in the pitching staff that had an impressive weekend over in Johnson City, including getting its first shutout of the season against Converse to close out their trip to the Big Region preseason preview invitational. Spradlin got the ball, as I said, in the opening day start against Glenville State. Went 4 1/3 innings, giving up 1 run on 5 hits, had a strikeout and 2 walks. As these two teams come together, Carson-Newman wearing their alternate navy blue tops with a nested CN outlined in white in the chest, and on the back, the outline of their numbers in white with white pants and a white visor for those wearing it. Spradlin comes set. The righty delivers the first pitch. And it's a called strike on the outer corner, coming at 11:01 local time. Next offering comes in. And it's a touch high and outside. Spradlin also pitched in 2/3 of an innings against Converse to close things out. And a dangerous 6th inning as Spradlin delivers and finds the bottom of the zone, 1-2, to the leadoff hitter, Savannah Kester. Spradlin looks at the wristband on her left arm, comes home on the 1-2, goes upstairs, and it's a wave and a miss by Kester. One gone on a strikeout for Spradlin, her second of the season, and that brings Hannah Lewis up to the batter's box. We'll take a look at the defensive alignment for Carson-Newman. Starting in the outfield, Abby Martin is in straightaway center. Flanking her in right is Shelby Armstrong, and in left is Addie Saunders. First pitch to the right-hand hitting Lewis is a called strike, and it's 0-1. From first to third around the infield, it's Macaulay Bailey, Reese Winchester, Malia Smith, and Grace Gregory. Here comes the 0-1 from Spradlin. Dips low beneath the zone, 1-1. And the catcher is Anne-Marie Richards for Lorelei Spradlin. Here comes the 1-1. Lewis in the air, line drive to left field. Saunders takes a couple of steps to her left and makes the grab for out number 2. And 2 away, and here comes Gabby Burrows. Probably the most dangerous hitter in this Flying Fleet lineup. The third baseman was a first-team All-Conference Carolinas player last year and was All-Region as well to go along with that. Standing in the righty's batter's box, the first pitch skips along the dirt, 1-0 to Burrows. Two teams in 2 different spots. Carson-Newman 4-0, Erskine 0-4. 1-0. Burrows in the air, and it drops into left field for a 2-out base hit. First hit of the contest belongs to Gabby Burrows. And so that sets the table for Summer Nelson, the designated player, batting cleanup. Also standing in the righty's batter's box against the righty in Spradlin. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Nelson on the season is just 1 for 6, making her 3rd start of the season. 1-0. Off the mark outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Burrows over at first base. Erskine in their home white uniforms, maroon pants with black helmets. The 2-0 comes in and catches the inner half. 2 balls and a strike to Nelson. Nelson, a senior from Beaufort, North Carolina, as the 2-1 bounces in front of home plate. Good block by Richard, sliding to her left. And it's 3-1 now against Summer Nelson. Spradlin got the first 2 down, strikeout and a line out. Burrows with the single, and here's Nelson now in a 3-1 count. A wave and a miss, and the count runs full. Spradlin looks for 1 more strike and 1 more out to get through this top half of the first inning. Not a cloud in the sky, a lot of sun, hence why I've got a hat on. Help me give some vision. Here comes the 3-2 from Spradlin. Nelson on the ground through the left side of the infield and into left field. It was just out of reach for the outstretched arms of Malia Smith on a full extension dive to her right. And so Nelson reaches on back-to-back singles for Erskine. That brings up Kennedy Crouch, the first baseman. And the first pitch from Spradlin dips down and away to the lefty, and it's 1-0. The 1-0. Down and outside again, 2 balls and no strikes. Against Crouch, first baseman, batting .364 through the first 4 games of the season, making her 4th start. And the 3-0, or excuse me, the 2-0's low, moving the count to 3 balls and no strikes. Crouch 4 for 11 on the season. Has 3 doubles, which leads the team for Erskine. There's 3-0. And it's a ball outside. It's a 4-pitch walk, and that loads the bases for Erskine. All of this coming with 2 outs. And a brief conversation in the circle between Macaulay Bailey and Lorelei Spradlin, and Anne-Marie Richards will go out to join them. Spradlin coming into this season was feeling a bit more confident. Learned a lot under all-SAC pitcher Sierra Rogers, who departed after last season. Spradlin, when I got a chance to speak with her ahead of the season, said she thinks she got in her head a lot last year, so learning from Sierra on how to control the game and how to control the pace of the game and just do things confidently. As here comes Amber Clark. First pitch from Spradlin, right down the chute, 0-1 to the left-handed hitting center fielder in Clark. Bases are loaded with Crouch at first, Nelson at second, and Burrows 60 feet away from the first run of the game at third. The 0-1 comes in, and this burns the inner corner, and it's quickly 0-2. 22 pitches so far for Spradlin. Here comes the 0-2. On the ground towards short. Smith fields, fires to first, and it's in time for out number 3. Spradlin buckles down, gets a ground out, and the Flying Fleet leaves the bases loaded in the top of the first inning. We'll get our first looks at the Carson-Newman Bats when we come back on the Eagle Sports Network. Back on the Eagles Sports Network, Matt Scalzo with you. Getting the ball for the Flying Fleet is Lila Clayton, the freshman, making her third appearance on the season, third start. Sits at 0-2 on the season with a 5.53 ERA, but she is holding opponents to a below 200 batting average at 186. Has given up 10 earned runs on just 8 hits with 8 strikeouts and 8 walks. Star freshman shortstop for Carson-Newman leads things off, batting in the lefty's batter's box, facing the righty in Clayton. First pitch is a strike, and it's 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. Smith, a shortened sawed-off swing, pokes it foul down the left field line, and it's 0-2. Smith, the native of Knoxville, Tennessee, leads the way for this freshman duo in the 1-2 spot for Carson-Newman. And Smith and Winchester, both the middle infielders for the Eagles. Here comes the 0-2. Smith on the ground, straight back to Clayton. She fields it on a couple of hops and tosses over to first base for out number 1. Smith is retired, has some speed, but Clayton's throw got her by a step, and here comes Reese Winchester, a freshman out of San Diego. And she has been impressive so far. Her and Smith at the top of this Carson-Newman order. Wasted no time in the opening day contest against Glenville State. Smith with a single, then swiped second base, and Winchester drove her in on an RBI base hit as Winchester takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Winchester's batting .364 on the season. Next pitch is outside, 2 balls, no strikes to the second baseman. Longest road trip of the season for Carson-Newman, all the way down here in Hardeeville. Here comes the 2-0. And that miss is just beneath the bottom rail of the zone. 3 balls, no strikes to Winchester. Standing towards the top of the righty's batter's box, the 3-0 is outside. That's a 4-pitch walk to Winchester. Puts a runner on first for Macaulay Bailey. And the senior in Bailey has gotten off to a somewhat slow start, but she joked with me she's not really one to thrive in the cold weather, hoping the warmer weather gets her going a little bit here. It's 55 degrees and sunny in Hardeeville. The first pitch to Bailey is well outside towards the lefty's batter's box, 1-0. A stark difference from what we saw on opening day in Johnson City. Low 30s. Sun is shining on a beautiful day in South Carolina. The 1-0 from Bailey pops it up first base side, and it will exit stage right in foul ground. I was talking with my family back home in the Northeast and my friend in Chicago. They're a little envious of the weather I'm enjoying here in South Carolina, the 1-1. Misses low, 2 balls and a strike to Bailey. Frigid temperatures in the Midwest and in the Northeast. My friend in Chicago was joking with me, thinking a glacier might form out in Lake Michigan with how cold it's been. Wishing he was down here with me. Shout out to my friend Connor. The 2-1 to Bailey catches the outside corner, 2-2. Winchester over at first base has some speed. As Clayton settles back into the circle. With one away, here comes the break even. Bailey in the air, fly ball to left. Back goes Kara West, and she'll make the grab a couple of steps in front of the wall for out number two, excuse me. We'll take a look now at the defensive alignment for the Flying Fleet of Erskine. Out in center field is Amber Clark. And in left, who just made the play, is Kara West. Savannah Kessler is out in right field. And then we'll get to the infield as Anne-Marie Richards settles into the righty's batter's box and takes a first pitch ball outside from the righty and Clayton. From first to third around the infield, it's Kennedy Crouch, Gracie Merrill, Ava Rogers, and Gabby Burrows. Hannah Lewis completes the battery with Clayton. Here comes the 1-0. Richards, pop up. That'll go out of foul ground, straight back, and onto the porch of the press box behind me. Winchester over at first after a one-out walk in a 0-0 ball game at the bottom of the first on this Friday morning in South Carolina. The 1-0 to Richards. Moves outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Brief pause as the umpire gets a couple more softballs, courtesy of Grace Gregory, who stands on deck for Carson-Newman. A 2-0. Or excuse me, the 2-1. Richards pop up left side of the infield, and moving over to make the grab is Ava Rogers for out number 3. And that will bring the bottom of the first to a close. Carson-Newman strands 1 in Winchester as we head into the second. Still scoreless between Carson-Newman and Erskine on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mossy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talons up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit cneagles.com/Eagle Club.
Welcome back to Hardyville, South Carolina. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagle Sports Network. Scoreless through 1 between Carson-Newman and Erskine as Lorelei Spradlin settles back in to the circle. She faces Gracie Merrill, the second baseman, a righty-on-righty matchup, and the first pitch, a wave and a miss from Merrill. And it's 0-1. Spradlin had an up-and-down first inning of work. Got the first 2 out, and then back-to-back base hits and a walk loaded the bases for Erskine as the 0-1 comes in low, and it's 1-1. But she was able to settle back in and get Amber Clark out on a ground out. Carson-Newman also left a runner on the bases. 1-1, bunt laid down from Merrill up the first base side. Bailey fields, and throw on to first is late. And it puts a runner on first base. Time is called by the home plate umpire as Macaulay Bailey had some words. He talks with head coach Michael Graves. I think it's just to calm the situation down. And Bailey was upset because the bat of Merrill was left up the first base side in the field of play and inhibited her from getting to the ball sooner. Either way, there's a runner on first, nobody out, and here is Kara West. Third hit for the Flying Fleet. She lays another bunt down, this time squaring it towards the third base side, and it dribbles foul for a first strike. West and then Rogers stands on deck, and then it's back to the top of the order in Savannah Kester. Here comes the 0-1. West pulls back on the bunt as it misses high, and it's 1-1. Wind is starting to pick up, blowing from left field towards right. Here comes the 1-1 to West. And that one brushed inside. They'll say it hit her and that she pulled back in time. Pulled back in time to say that she didn't offer at it, and there was appeal to the field umpire. He also said she did not go, and so now, after a bunt single and a hit by pitch, Flying Fleet have two runners on for the 9-hitter in Ava Rogers. First pitch to Rogers is a called strikeout on the outer half. She was also showing bunt. Rogers, the third best hitter in this Erskine order, batting an even .400 on the season, but has just had 5 at-bats. This one on the 0-1 pushes a bunt, but it rolls foul third base side, and so it is 0-2 as Spradlin looks for the first out in the inning. As meanwhile, Erskine is looking for the first run of the game. Scoreless first inning of work for both these pitchers, and now Spradlin with some traffic on the base paths once again. The 0-2 comes in high, 1-2. Spradlin worked through some trouble in the contest against Glenville State, just allowed the 1 run. Here comes the 1-2. And the drop pitch dips beneath the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Rogers patiently selecting her pitches. Just the second start for Rogers in this season. The 2-2. And it misses high from Spradlin. Anne-Marie Richards trying to frame it, waiting for the strike call, and didn't come. And so the count runs full with nobody out. With West on first and Merrill at second, the 3-2. Sharply hit foul ball down the third base side by Rogers. And the Flying Fleet have lost all 4 of their contests to begin the season. One of them by 1 run, and the other 2, or another 2 by a pair, and was threatening in their 7-3 loss in the top of the 7th against Coker. Here comes the 3-2. Swing and a miss by Rogers. She goes down by way of the K as Rogers gets her second strikeout. And then a snap throw down to second by Rogers, or by Richards. Pushes Merrill back to second base. And it's back to the top of the order with Kester. First pitch is a ball outside. Just off the mark from Spradlin. Kester is 0 for 1 with a strikeout to begin the contest. A 1-0 from Spradlin. Back up the middle. Smith glove steps on second for one, and she'll have no throw anywhere else, as there is the second out. West is out in the process as Kester reaches on a fielder's choice, and advancing over to third went Merrill. And it's Hannah Lewis coming up now. Had a hard line out to left field where Addie Saunders was there to make the play. So the go-ahead run 60 feet away again for Erskine with 2 outs. First pitch to Lewis is a ball beneath the knees, 1-0. A 1-0. And Spradlin misses the zone high and outside. Two balls, no strikes. Kester over at first, and Merrill at third. The 2-0 is high to Lewis. 3 balls, no strikes. Spradlin trying to settle in. And she'll call time in the circle. Didn't like the call she was getting for what pitch to throw as she settles back in, takes a look at the armband on her left wrist. Rocks and deals the 3-0. And it is off the mark. A 4-pitch walk to Lewis, and once again the Flying Fleet load the bases for the second consecutive inning. Also coming with 2 outs once again, and it is Gabby Burrows, who had a base hit her first time up, a dangerous hitter. Batting .308 coming into today, and takes a first pitch ball from Spradlin that skips along the dirt before being fielded on the backhand by Richards. Burrows with a home run and 3 RBIs this season. Started all contests coming into today and started one today. The 1-0 clipped straight back to move the count to 1-1. Standing tall in the righty's batter's box is Burrows. Here comes the 1-1. Off speed from Spradlin. Freezes Burrows and catches the inner half. Moves the count to 1-2. Spradlin looking for one more strike. The 1-2. Swing and a miss from Burrows. Huge punch out from Spradlin. She strands the bases loaded once again on her 3rd punch out of the morning. Sends us to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mousy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talons up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit cneagles.com/Eagle Club.
Back in Hardeeville, South Carolina for the bottom of the second between Carson-Newman and Erskine. Game 1 of day 1 in this 3-team event. Carson-Newman, Erskine, and the host, USC Beaufort, coming together. as Carson-Newman comes up to bat with the 5-hitter Grace Gregory, trying to get the offense into gear. Erskine has threatened in both the top of the first and the second, but Lorelei Spradlin has been able to escape trouble on the bases. Bases loaded, 2 outs. She's been able to get that third and final out in both innings, as the first pitch to Gregory from Clayton is a strike right down the gut, and it's 0-1. So Erskine has left 6 runners on the bases through 2 innings so far. Gregory coming in, the transfer from North Alabama. Home plate umpire going out to talk with Laura Clayton. Or excuse me, Layla Clayton. Here comes the 1-1 to Gregory. And the off-speed hangs upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Gregory trying to settle into the season. Missed all of last season with the knee injury at North Alabama. The 2-1 is low, 3 balls and a strike. And in 2024, she only played in 17 games for the Lions. Spent her first 2 seasons at Vol State Community College in Gallatin, Tennessee. Here comes a 3-1. Gregory jammed inside, turns and pops it up towards shallow left field. Moving back is the shortstop Rogers, and she will make the grab for out number 1. And here comes the designated player, Sarah Walker, who has gotten off to an impressive start in her freshman season. Earned player of the game honors for what she did in game 2 in day 2 at the Big Region preseason preview invitational. Coming off a 2-hit day in that contest against Converse. First pitch is outside to Walker, freshman by way of Mills River, North Carolina. Also got the start in the circle, went 5 and a third innings, giving up no runs on 5 hits with a strikeout in the 6-0 win over the Valkyries. As Walker takes the next offering high and outside, 2-0. And Walker in that contest against Converse, 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and a home run. The first home run of her career, first home run of the 2026 season for Carson-Newman. As a 2-0 fouled away down the first base side, and it's 2-1. Scoreless between Carson-Newman and Erskine in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Carson-Newman looking to get some base runners on, had 1 represented by Reese Winchester in the bottom of the 1st inning. Meanwhile, for Erskine, they've left the bases loaded in both the 1st and the 2nd. 2-1 from Walker, brushes high and inside, 3 balls and a strike. Walker picked up her first career hit against Concord in the 2nd game of the 1st day in Johnson City. It was a double. Here comes the 3-1. Walker comes late on the swing and maybe just caught a piece of it. Either way, it's strike 2, and the count runs full with 1 gone. Settles into the righty's batter's box. Payoff pitch from Clayton, and Walker notches a foul ball down the first base side. Comes the 3-2. Walker in the air, shallow center field, diving and unable to make the grab is Amber Clark, but is able to scoop it up off a hop. and holds Walker to a base hit, the first hit of the day for Carson-Newman. And brings up Addie Saunders, who stands in the lefties batter's box. Tied for the team high in batting average coming into today's contest is Saunders, batting .556, and takes the first pitch strike on the outer half, and it's 0-1. Sophomore out of Radford, Virginia. Here comes the 0-1. High and outside on the rise ball from Clayton, and count sits at 1-1. Walker over at first base. Reaches base for the 5th time this season. 1-1 to Saunders. High and outside once more. 2 balls and a strike. With 1 gone in a 0-0 contest between Erskine and Carson-Newman. Eagles have struck first in all of their contests to begin the season. 2-1 to Saunders. Catches the outer half. 2-2 as Saunders watches it go by. Clayton comes set, the righty deals the break even, and Saunders shoots it foul down the third base side. So the count stays where it is with 1 away. On deck is Shelby Armstrong, the right fielder, and if it gets any further, it would be the center fielder, Abby Martin. Another 2-2 offering on the way from Clayton. And Saunders pops it up, foul ground, third base side, and it'll drift over the fence. Back-to-back foul balls from Addie Saunders. Here comes the 2-2 again. Saunders lifts it in the air, and that will land foul once again down the third base side. About 20 yards to the left of me, a little behind. I might have to be vigilant and make some plays out here in foul ground behind home plate. Or at the very least protect the computers and equipment that I got. As here is Clayton coming set on another 2-2. Looking at the wristband on her left arm. She rocks and deals another break even. And this is high and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pump faking a couple of throws was Lewis behind home plate before snapping a throw down to first, and Walker with a head-first dive is back safely ahead of the tag from Kennedy Crouch. Payoff pitch to Saunders. High and inside. And Saunders with a long at-bat works a walk. Puts runners on first and second for Shelby Armstrong with 1 away. And Saunders continues to be an on-base machine, working her 3rd walk of the season. Now has reached base in 11 consecutive games, dating back to last season. Armstrong, another transfer in this order by way of Roane State Community College. Comes in at a big spot. Runner in scoring position in Walker. First pitch to the right-handed hitting Armstrong is high and outside. And it's 1-0, and there will be a visit in the circle for Clayton. Joining her is Hannah Lewis. And coming out of the first base side dugout is head coach Aline Hawkins.
Stands, El Noble Food Truck is now open by the flagpole.
Hawkins in her 25th season as the head coach at Erskine, 45th overall. Began her career at Chesapeake College up in Maryland. She also coached at the University of Georgia for 4 years. A 1-0 to Armstrong, catches the inner half, and it's 1-1. Hawkins was also the head coach at Furman for many years. The 1-1. This is high and outside to Armstrong, 2-1. She was showing bunt, pulled back, crashing in came Burrows from third base. And after Hawkins left Georgia with the intent of becoming a stay-at-home mom, Erskine needed a softball coach, and just 20 minutes from her home, she decided to take it. Armstrong pushes a bunt up the first base side, fielded by the first baseman Crouch. She'll tag Armstrong out on the bases, but it moves both runners another 60 feet and into scoring position.
Now batting, number 14, Abby Martin.
Saunders at second and Walker over at third for Abby Martin, the 9-hitter in this Carson-Newman order. First pitch to Martin is a called strike, catching the outside corner on the offering from Clayton. Martin, 6 RBIs, that leads the way for Carson-Newman. Has picked up a pair in the last 3 games. Next pitch misses high, and it's 1-1. Martin in her senior season from Gadsden, Alabama, has reached base in all 4 games to begin this season. Has reached base in 3 of the 4 games to begin this season, as the 1-1 comes in and catches the zone. 1-2. Clayton comes home with a 1-2 to Martin. She takes outside and selectively lets it go 2-2 as the count evens up. This will be the 44th pitch for Clayton. The break even to Martin. Just off the mark. And the count runs full with 2 away. First base is open for Clayton if she were to walk Martin. Aaliyah Smith and the top of the Carson-Newman order looms on deck. Payoff pitch. Martin in the air, right center field, long run, and it's over the head of the center fielder Clark. Walker is in, Saunders comes in to score. Martin turns and burns around second into third with a stand-up triple. And Carson-Newman strikes first in the bottom of the second. RBIs number 7 and 8 on the season for Martin. And that marks the 4th consecutive game for Abby Martin with 2 RBIs. And Malia Smith now comes back up. Second triple of the season for Abby Martin.
How are you?
8 RBIs now for Abby Martin as she continues this sizzling start to her senior season. Leah Smith now steps in. The freshman's 0 for 1, lays a bunt down and fouls it straight back. A chance to make it 3-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Carson-Newman striking first once again. They have struck first in all 5 games now to begin the season. Smith shows bunt, pulls back as this one skitters along the dirt from Clayton into home plate, and it's 1-1. Burrows, the third baseman, along with the first baseman and Crouch, about 3 steps in front of their respective bags. Smith, sawed-off swing down the third base side, fouls it away. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. With Martin over at third base. The 1-2, Smith takes. And it's a ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Abby Martin, the 2-run triple. Made it 2-0 Carson-Newman just moments ago. Here comes the 2-2 to Smith. Low bouncer up the middle, fielded on by Rogers. Snaps the throw to first, but it is not in time. The speed of Smith, too much, and Martin comes in to score. It is 3-0 Carson-Newman in the bottom of the second inning. As here comes Reese Winchester. First pitch to the second baseman. A wave on a miss on a pitch down and away outside to the righty. Smith with tremendous speed. Wouldn't be shocked if she's on the move in the next couple of pitches. The 0-1 is outside, and the count moves to 1-1. 52 pitches now for Layla Clayton. Half of those have been strikes. Here comes the 1-1 to Winchester. High. Smith is going. The throw down to second is off the mark from Lewis, and Malia Smith is in with a stolen base. So she moves into scoring position, and Winchester in a 2-1 count is looking for more for Carson-Newman. The 2-1 comes in, and it's a wave and a miss from Winchester. Evens up the count at 2-2. Two catches the inner half, and Winchester goes down looking. Smith stranded on the bases, but Carson-Newman gets 3 runs on 3 hits, leaves 1 runner left on base, and takes a 3-0 lead into the third inning. Back with more from Hardeeville on the Eagle Sports Network.
Door food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. In the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccorrect.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Nelson.
Back at the Low Country Classic, into the third inning we go. Carson-Newman with 3 runs in the bottom of the second inning. As it will be 4, 5, and 6 in the Erskine order to try and get something going against Lorelei Spradlin. They've loaded the bases in both the first and the second, but the sophomore pitcher who delivers a first pitch strike as Nelson comes up empty with a wave and a miss makes it 0-1. Spradlin has done a good job staying calm in the circle and working around the traffic. Stranding the bases loaded in both the first and the second. Got a ground out in the first inning and then a strikeout of Gabby Burrows, the most dangerous hitter in this Erskine order, to keep things scoreless before her offense took over. The last 2 pitches from Spradlin have both missed outside, and so the count moves to 2-1. Abby Martin opened the scoring, a 2-run triple. And then Malia Smith brought in Martin on an infield base hit. 2-1 from Spradlin comes in, and it's another swing and a miss from Nelson. 2-2. That was pitch number 50 for Spradlin. 2-2 to Nelson. This is low in the dirt. 3-2. Nelson is 1 for 1 with a base hit through the left side. A 3-2. Popped up behind home plate. Richards moves over towards the first base side and makes the underhand grab for out number 1.
Now batting, number 15, Kennedy Crouch.
And that will bring up Kennedy Crouch, the first baseman. As Spradlin gets the first out, and the first batter she faces Ann Nelson. First pitch in the air towards center. Martin charges in, and she'll make the grab, dropping to one knee to secure the catch. In a short-lived battle with Kennedy Crouch. There's 2 away.
Now batting, number 10, Amber Clark.
And so here comes Amber Clark as Spradlin looks for a 1-2-3 top of the third to fully cement the momentum for Carson-Newman. First pitch to Clark is a strike on the fastball. Here comes the 0-1. And a drop pitch that misses down away, 1-1. The 1-1. Chopper, left side of the infield. Smith Fields fires and gets the out for out number 3. A 1-2-3, top of the third inning for Lorelei Spradlin. And we head into the bottom of the third. Carson-Newman in front, 3-0 on the Eagle Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Twilight is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at twilight.net.
Or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Bailey.
Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagles Sports Network. A 3-0 Carson-Newman lead in the bottom of the third inning. Lorelei Spradlin with a 1-2-3 top of the third sets the table for Macaulay Bailey to lead things off. 3, 4, and 5 in the Carson-Newman order. Taking on Erskine. First pitch is high and outside to Bailey, and it's 1-0. Layla Clayton still in the circle. Has thrown 58 pitches now. And the 1-0 from Clayton moves off the mark to make it 2-0. Misses towards the lefty's batter's box, and it's 2-0 to Macaulay Bailey. She's 0 for 1. A 2-0. Bailey catches a piece and lifts it foul down the first base side. Bailey's 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. Two-one. High and outside again, and reaching all the way over is Hannah Lewis to secure that one. A 3-1. Bailey waves and misses, but Clayton took too long in the circle or had an error while pitching, and so it is ball 4, and Macaulay Bailey will head on down to first base on a free pass to lead off the bottom of the third. And extends Bailey's on-base streak to 25 consecutive games dating back to last season. As now there'll be a entire infield meeting for Erskine. Gabby Burrows, first one to come over to Clayton, and now the rest of the infield will join her as they try to settle things down for the freshman. First meeting between these two sides since the 2022 season. That was an 11-9 win for Carson-Newman. They have won the last 5 meetings against the Flying Fleet. An all-time Carson-Newman is 50-13 against the team from due west as Anne-Marie Richards steps into the righty's batter's box, shows bunt on the first pitch, just nicks the end of her bat and is fouled straight back to the fence behind home plate, and it's 0-1. So meeting number 64 today. 65th will be tomorrow between these two Southeast region schools. The 0-1 is outside to the right-handed hitting Richards. And it's 1-1. The 1-1. Richards sends a towering pop-up into center field. Clark is able to secure the catch, and there's one away. And so here comes Grace Gregory, who is still trying to get herself going to start this season. First pitch to Gregory is low and outside to the righty, 1-0. Gregory just one hit on the season. That came against Concord. Picked up a pair of RBIs in that contest as well. It was a 2-run triple for Grace Gregory. 1-0 is off the mark. And now it's 2-0. Just trying to settle back into things is Gregory. Comes the 2-0. Gregory, a hard hit line drive into left field. It one hops into the wall. Macaulay Bailey rounds third, heading for home, and that's how you get out of a slump. A frozen rope into left center field off the bat of Grace Gregory. Makes it 4-0 Carson-Newman. Second hit of the season for Gregory. As Bailey goes first to home. Here comes Sarah Walker. And when I was talking to head coach Michael Graves following the trip to Johnson City, and even on the bus yesterday, trying to get this offense into gear, felt a lot of them were in slumps. As here comes Sarah Walker. Takes the first pitch ball that misses beneath the zone, and it's 1-0. But he was saying how whenever he was in a slump, he just would swing as hard as he could and try and just hit it right back up the middle. I think that might have passed along to Gregory. She smoked it to left center field on that RBI double. As the 1-0 misses to Walker, 2 balls, no strikes. Even in the hotel this morning, team was getting breakfast, and Coach Graves talking to Grace Gregory as the 2-0 comes in to Sarah Walker, catches the inner half, 2-1. Coach Graves' daughter Alex is with the team for this trip to South Carolina, and she's trying to grab the attention of her dad, and he said, hold on, I'm giving an inspirational speech to Grace, and it seems to have paid off as Walker shoots one right back where it came from, up the middle for a base hit into center field. Gregory holds over at third as Walker picks up a hard hit single. Puts runners on the corners with one away, and now this potent offense for Carson-Newman starting to find a new gear. It was sluggish in Johnson City, battling with the cold. As now head coach Michael Graves will be possibly going to a pinch runner, and that is what he will be doing as Lacey Keck comes out from the third base dugout and will replace Sarah Walker on the base pads. Keck, another one of the 8 freshmen, native of Knoxville. It has been an impressive freshman class so far for Carson-Newman and head coach Michael Graves. He's talked to me at length about it, and I'm sure in any post-game interviews coming the rest of the season, he will continue to talk about how good they've been. Addie Saunders steps into the lefties' batter's box, takes a first pitch strike on the outer half, and that's 0-1. Gregory at third, and Keck over at first in a 4-0 Carson-Newman lead with one away in the bottom of the third inning. Keck is going on the 0-1. The throw down from Lewis is not in time. Gregory takes off for home, and the throw back from the shortstop Rogers is not in time. A double steal from Carson-Newman, executed to perfection. Makes it 5-0 Carson-Newman, as Keck now stands over at second base. And an 0-2 count to Saunders. A hard hit line drive foul down the third base line. Keeps the count where it is at 0-2. 5 runs on now 5 hits for Carson-Newman. 3 in the second, 2 in the third. The 0-2 to Saunders, who's already worked a walk in her first time up. Takes the ball down and away outside to the lefty, and it's 1-2. Here comes the 1-2. Misses outside, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away. Keck in scoring position at second. Carson-Newman has been able to take advantage of their opportunities. 3 for 4 with runners in scoring position so far this morning, and has now shifted into the afternoon. Saunders, soft line drive towards second. It is caught by Merrill, and holding put over at second base is Keck, as Saunders is retired for out number 2. Brings up Shelby Armstrong. Armstrong was out on a sac bunt in the 3-run second inning. She takes the first pitch. It misses in the dirt from Clayton, and it's 1-0. 80th pitch of the contest coming up for Clayton on the next offering to Armstrong, who is standing in the righty's batter's box. A wave and a miss on the 1-0. And it's 1-1. Carson-Newman batting 4 for 9 with runners on. Armstrong lifts one in the air on the 1-1. Right field, moving towards the right field line, and securing the catch is Savannah Kester for out number 3. But Carson-Newman scores another 2 runs on 2 hits, leaves 1 runner left on base as we head into the 4th inning. It is a 5-0 Carson-Newman lead. Back with more from Hardeeville on the other side of this break on the Eagle Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
7, 8, and 9 due up for Erskine in the top of the 4th inning. It is 5-0 Carson-Newman. In day 1 of the Low Country Classic, Lorelei Spradlin settles back into the circle. Delivers the first pitch that misses high to Merrill, and it's 1-0. Nothing quite like working with a lead, especially a big one at that for Spradlin. 1-0, Merrill lifts it in the air. Foul ground, third base side. Gregory steps over and makes the grab for out number 1 in this top half of the 4th. Brings up Kara West, and Ava Rogers stands on deck. And the opener against Glenville State, Spradlin was really just working with a 1-run lead for pretty much all the time she was out there, as the first pitch to West is outside, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. High and outside once more, 2-0. 60 pitches now for Spradlin, but as I was saying, Carson-Newman just wasted no time. Smith with the base hit, and then Winchester drove her in the Glenville State meeting. Made it 1-0 quickly as 2-1 comes in. A check swing from West, appeal down to first. They'll say she did go around, and it's 2-1. And Aline Hawkins, head coach for Erskine, walking down the third base side and voicing her displeasure, saying the bat never even broke past her shoulder. Either way, count moves to 2-1, and during that abbreviated conversation, during that conversation, Anne-Marie Richards took the chance during the abbreviated timeout to catch up with Lorelei Spradlin in the circle. Here comes the 2-1. Foul ball, first base side, lifted out of play off the bat of West. Evens the count at 2-2. But Spradlin working with a bigger lead than the last time she was out there against Glenville State, a team that was in the NCAA tournament a year ago after winning the Mountain East. Carson-Newman trying to get back to that point this season. The 2-2 from Spradlin as a fastball off the outside part of the plate. And the count runs full with one gone. And the away half of the fourth. Here comes the payoff pitch from Spradlin. Called strike on the outside corner. Spradlin freezes West. And that is strikeout number 4 for Lorelei Spradlin. And there's 2 quick outs. She's retired the last 6 Erskine hitters after a 1-2-3 third inning. Ava Rogers now steps in and takes the first pitch ball down and away from the lefty. And the 1-0 to Rogers. Rushes inside to the lefty shortstop. And it's 2-0. Rogers struck out swinging her first time she came up against Spradlin. 2-0. Down and away on the breaking pitch from Spradlin. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 away in a 5-0 Carson-Newman lead. And the top of the 4th inning. First pitch came at 11:01 local time. Now 12:13 in the afternoon. 3-1 from Spradlin is in the zone for a strike. Rogers was taking all the way. Really starting to feel the South Carolina sun warm things up. The 3-1 right down the chute. 3-2. Spradlin working backwards in this at-bat. Temperature now up to 58 degrees per my phone. Here comes the 3-2, and Rogers just catches a piece off the end of her bat. Keeps the count full, keeps the at-bat alive. On the 70th pitch of the day from Spradlin. Another payoff pitch on the way. And it's a ball high. Rogers is able to work a 2-out walk. Puts a runner on first as it turns back over to the top of the Flying Fleet order and Savannah Kester.
Hey, you know a guy.
Oh, he does know a guy. Don't tell him that. He'll have one over to
Yeah,
you
he's
next
gonna
week.
he's gonna text me.
Hey, I got a hat for you.
Kester comes up, a strikeout, and grounded into a fielder's choice, put her on the bases. As she takes the first pitch strike from Spradlin, and it's 0-1. There was a throw down to first from Anne-Marie Richards. But Rogers is back in safely. Here comes the 0-1. Line drive, left field, and it is over the head of the leaping Malia Smith off the bat of Kester. 2-out base hit. Moves Rogers into scoring position, and Kester on first with her first hit of the contest. 4th hit for Erskine, trailing by 5. As Carson-Newman scored 3 in the second, 2 in the third. Brings up Hannah Lewis. First pitch to Lewis. Burns the outside edge on a called strike to the righty. Lewis, a line out and a walk. in this meeting so far. Pitch in the dirt, runners are going. Richard snaps a throw to third, and it is in time. Retires Rogers, who is trying to advance another 60 feet. But the defensive Carson-Newman again coming up strong. As Rogers is caught stealing to end the inning. So the Flying Fleet leave another runner on base after one hit. We head into the bottom of the fourth. It is a 5-0 Carson-Newman lead here on the Eagles Sports Network. Back with more from the Low Country Classic on the other side of this break.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mossy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talons up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit seeandeagles.com/Eagle Club.
Into the bottom of the fourth we go from the Low Country Classic. 5-0 Carson-Newman leads Erskine here on the Eagles Sports Network. I'm Matt Scalzo. Delighted you could make me a part of your Friday afternoon now on a sun-splashed contest Friday in South Carolina for this contest. First of three lined up today as there is a pitching change for Erskine. Layla Clayton departs. And Mallory Ruzicka steps into the circle. The junior out of Canton, Georgia, makes her second appearance on the season. Last pitched a week ago against Coker. Gave up 5 runs, 4 of those earned on 5 hits with 2 walks and no strikeouts through 2/3 innings of work. In what was a 15-14 win for Coker. Cobras getting a walk-off in the bottom of the 7th in that contest. First pitch from Ruzicka is a strike to Abby Martin. And it's 0-1. 9-1-2 drew up in the Carson-Newman order. That contest between Coker and Erskine, that was a doozy when you look at the box score. 1-0. Martin checks her swing, peel down to first. They say she did not go around, and it's 1-1. Coker scored 5 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third. Erskine had 7 in the second, and then Coker added 1 more in the 6th to hold a 14-7 lead. Well, in the top of the 7th, Erskine got a touchdown and the extra point, tied it up at 14 before Coker walked things off on an error. 1-1 to Martin. Misses downstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two-1 to the righty Martin. Slow roller off the glove of Ruzicka. Diving stop made by the second baseman Merrill. But Martin will reach on the infield base hit. Martin is now 2 for 2 on the day after her 2-run triple that opened the scoring in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And now Malia Smith in top of the Carson-Newman order comes back up. Martin going on the first pitch. The throw down is off the mark from Lewis, and Abby Martin moves in with a stolen base. Smith shows bunt, pulls back as it misses. And the count moves to 2-0. Martin over at second base. Perfect on stolen bases this season. Two one. Smith offers at the bunt and misses. 2-1. Now a stolen base number 5 on the season. Smith puts the bunt down on the 2-1. Back to the pitcher, Ruzicka. The Smith of speed, too much. She reaches. And Martin moves over to second. Or excuse me, Martin moves over to third. Here comes Reese Winchester. Smith going on the first offering. The throw down, cut off by the second baseman and Merrill, as Smith will be aboard, or Smith will move over to second base on a stolen base, and now both runners in scoring position for Reese Winchester, who worked a walk and then struck out looking her last time up. Carson-Newman has been so potent with runners on, and especially runners in scoring position today. The 1-0 is fouled back by Winchester, and the count moves to 1-1. Carson-Newman 4 for 7 so far this afternoon with runners in scoring position, 5 for 11 when runners are on. As the 1-1 to Winchester is outside, 2-1. Winchester with 2 runners in scoring position, looking for more runs. 2-1, fouled straight back, 2-2. Winchester's been praised for her defensive ability to start this season. Also has a pair of RBIs for her freshman season so far. 2-2 comes in and misses low. 3-2 between Ruzicka and Winchester. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here comes the payoff pitch to Winchester, and she just fouls it off on the end of her bat. Bounces off of home plate. Winchester stepped out of the box, and now she climbs into the righty's batter's box with an open stance towards the third base side. The 3-2 outside. And Winchester works a walk that loads the bases with nobody out for Macaulay Bailey. The senior first baseman has been getting things going. Worked a walk, came in to score her last time up. Trying to break this game that's pretty wide open already, just tear the cover off of it. First pitch is a ball, and it's 1-0. Oh for 1 for Bailey on the afternoon so far. Corners come in. Here's the 1-0. And that misses from Ruzicka. 2 balls, no strikes to Macaulay Bailey, the Carson-Newman program leader in career home runs with 48 and RBIs at 190. That was coming into this season. She's added on to that total, at least in the RBI department. Time is called by Bailey as Ruzicka took a long pause to come set and long pause to look in. Two-0 is a strike to Bailey. It's 2-1. Just catches the inside corner. As Bailey still looks for her first RBI this season. Bases are loaded. Winchester at first, Smith at second, Martin at third. 2-1 comes in and it misses outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ruzicka's got nowhere to put Bailey, and there's nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. A 5-0 Carson-Newman lead. Back-to-back innings with a crooked number. Eagles looking for more here in the home half of the 4th, and Ruzicka steps off the rubber. Climbs back on. Here comes the 3-1. And it's a ball outside. 5-pitch walk to Macaulay Bailey. Advances everybody another 60 feet, including Martin, to come in to score. And there is RBI number 1 on the season for Macaulay Bailey. Back-to-back walks. Keeps the bases, back-to-back walks for Bailey this afternoon. As now Aline Hawkins will step out of the first base side dugout with Anne-Marie Richards, otherwise known as AM, across the team, steps into the righty's batter's box, and there will be a pitching change for Erskine. So we'll figure out who the new pitcher is, get you everything you need to know as Ruzicka departs, gets no outs, and another run comes in to score. For Carson-Newman, it is 6-0 Eagles. Back after this on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mousy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talons up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit seeandeagles.com/Eagle Club.
Kinsley Kay is the new pitcher in the circle for Erskine. Comes in with the bases loaded and nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. It is a 6-0 Carson-Newman lead. Day 1 of the Low Country Classic. Game 1 of the day. Carson-Newman will be taking on the hosts in USC Beaufort later this afternoon. Kay, a sophomore out of Honea, South Carolina, makes her second appearance on the season as A.M. Richards steps into the righty's batter's box with the bases juiced and nobody out. First pitch from Kay is right down Broadway for called strike 1. Richards on the 0-1, pulls it down the third baseline and into the corner it goes. Smith scores. Around third comes Winchester. She will score as well. It is a 2-run double for Anne-Marie Richards, and it is now 8-0 Carson-Newman in the bottom of the fourth inning. Bailey advances over to third as Richards adds on to her impressive start to her freshman season. Getting her first career RBIs. Grace Gregory wastes no time, swings on the first pitch, right back up the middle. It is fielded by Rogers as it skitters along the ground, and she fires out Gregory for out number 1. Bailey got about halfway down the line, but opted to not go. As Lacey Keck will step in. It was a pinch runner for Sarah Walker, a designated player, and a pinch runner last time Walker was up, and now she fully settles into that designated player spot. But as I was saying, for Anne-Marie Richards, her first 2 RBIs in her career.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
This time is called by Keck. And Richards extends her hitting streak to 4 consecutive games, back-to-back games with a double for the freshman from Spring Hill, Tennessee. First offering to Keck, and she catches a piece of it, fouls it off the fence down the third base side. Keck, a freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, standing in the lefty's batter's box, is 1 for 1 on the season. Got her first career hit in a 6-5 win over Concord on February 8th. Hits a hard hit, skittering ball down the third base side that bounces foul. And the count moves to 0-2. When catching up with Coach Graves and Coach Holly Tucker-Vance, Keck has one of the prettiest swings on the team as the 0-2 misses high, and it's 1-2. The entire coaching staff has to be feeling pretty good about where things are at. Hayden Dye over at first base, the graduate assistant coach. The 1-2, Keck shoots it the other way, foul down the third base line. And the count stays where it is. Dye, All-American, All-SAC infielder over the past few years for Carson-Newman, is the first base coach, and Michael Graves, the head coach over at third. Holly Tucker-Vance, the pitching coach. Here comes the 1-2 from Kaya to Keck. Is an off speed that dips in the dirt. 2-2. Kay making her second appearance on the season. Also pitched in that 15-14 loss for Erskine against Coker as Keck pokes one down the third base line. It is snagged by Burrows, and Macaulay Bailey dives back into third safely. And so here comes Addie Saunders with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 away. First pitch to Saunders, and it's a hard hit ground ball foul, third base side. There's a pinch runner over at second base. It is Katie Mathena that has come into the contest in place of Richards. as the 0-1 to Saunders misses high, and it's 1-1. Mathena, utility player for Carson-Newman, is really a Swiss Army knife. Can play in the outfield, can catch, can also go in the infield. 1-1 to Kay, slips out of her hand, and it bounces in the dirt about halfway before it gets to home. Good work by Lewis behind the plate. Ball doesn't splinter anywhere across the home plate area, with Macaulay Bailey 60 feet away over at third. 2-0, Saunders on the ground to second, fielded on the backhand by Merrill. She'll flip to first for out number 3, but the Eagles bring 3 more runs across, 2 of them coming on the double from Anne-Marie Richards. Makes it 8-0 Eagles as we head into the 5th inning. Run rule is on for Carson-Newman if they're able to get 3 more outs in this top half of the 5th. Back after this on the Eagles Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mousy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talents up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit cneagles.com/Eagle Club.
Change in the circle for Carson-Newman as we come into the top of the 5th inning. It is senior Riley Sykes, native of Powell, Tennessee, will make her 2nd appearance on the season. Also pitched in the Glenville State game and got the win on opening day. So her and Spradlin looking to combine and pick up another victory as the Eagles hold an 8-0 lead heading into the 5th inning. Hannah Lewis leads things off for Erskine. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Flying Fleet. Carson-Newman has put up crooked numbers in the last 3 innings. 3 runs in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and another 3 in the 4th. First pitch from Sykes is a ball outside to the right-handed hitting Lewis. Sykes in that contest against Glenville State went 2 2/3, giving up just 2 hits, no runs allowed, with the strikeout. As the 1-0 to Lewis fouled off down the first base side, and it's 1-1. Katie Mathena, who pinch ran for Anne-Marie Richards in the bottom half of the 4th, now slots in behind the plate. As the lone defensive change for Carson-Newman. 1-1 from Sykes is high, 2 balls and a strike. Carson-Newman up 8-0 here as the 2-1 from Lewis lifted in the air towards left center field. Saunders moves over from left field and will make the grab for out number 1. Longest road trip of the season for Carson-Newman. First of 2 days. Team got in yesterday. Got to go look at the beach over on Hilton Head Island. Had a nice dinner. Got up this morning and they're looking for 2 wins as Gabby Burrows steps in and takes the first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. 2 wins to make athletic trainer Colby Reed happy, as it is her birthday. So happy birthday to Colby. Also some more on the line. They're looking for some quick games as the 0-1 is outside to Burrows, 1-1. As the team has their sights set on the Tanger Outlets on Hilton Head Island to maybe do some shopping after the games if they move quick enough. Those close at 8. Head coach Michael Graves is like, you better win, and you better win in 2 run rules if you want to get there. As the count moves to 2-1 against Burroughs, as that is outside from Sykes. And there's one more thing on the line as the 2-1 from Sykes comes in. Burroughs out in front of it, yanks it foul down the left field line. And the daughter of head coach Michael Graves, Alex, who's been wanting ice cream, sweet frog, whatever it is. Last night it was said if the team wins both games, they will get one of those, whatever one Coach Graves is feeling, I'd say, on the night. As the 2-2 to Burroughs, slapped foul, first base side, and the count stays where it is with 1 gone. So 3 reasons that Carson-Newman is eyeing some more victories, and as well to stay perfect on the season. They're 4-0. Here comes the 2-2 to Burroughs, shoots it into right center field. Martin on the move and makes the over-the-shoulder grab. Doing it offensively and defensively, Abby Martin starring for Carson-Newman right now. It was a long run, and she was able to get there with that over-the-shoulder catch. As Summer Nelson settles in, swing and a miss on the first pitch. Change up from Riley Sykes, and it's 0-1. Sykes looking for a 1-2-3, top of the 5th. The 0-1 is high and outside, 1-1 to the right-handed hitting Summer Nelson. The 1-1 from Sykes. Nelson pops it up. Shallow ground right field. Winchester moves over, bobbles, and makes the grab for out number 3. And that will do it in game 1 of the day. The Eagles run rule Erskine 8-0, final in 5, with Winchester making the spectacular play to bring things to a close. And it is a 8-0 win for Carson-Newman to open up the Low Country Classic and improve to a perfect 5-0 on the season. We got things going in the bottom of the 2nd inning, scoring 3 runs. And they continued to roll along with 2 runs in the 3rd inning and another 3 in the 4th. It started with an Abby Martin triple, driving in Saunders and Walker. Then Martin scored on a RBI single from Aaliyah Smith. Grace Gregory opened the 3rd with a hard hit towards left center. On that double scored Macaulay Bailey. Gregory then stole home as Lacey Keck stole 2nd. And then in the 4th, Macaulay Bailey walked in Abby Martin, and Anne-Marie Richards delivered the final blow. To put Carson-Newman in position with a double down the left field line, scoring Winchester and Smith. Spradlin and Sykes combined for the shutout. Spradlin going the first 4, will get the win, and Sykes closing things out in the 5th. Spradlin finishes with 4 strikeouts, allowing just 4 hits. No runs come across. Back-to-back shutouts for the Eagles as they start the Low Country Classic 1-0. The final lines for this game: the Flying Fleet of Erskine, no runs on 4 hits with no errors. They leave 7 left on base, left the bases juiced in both the 1st and the 2nd. As for Carson-Newman, 8 runs on 8 hits, no errors, 5 runners left on base. They now improved 5-0. Second game of the day will be coming in the afternoon. On the schedule, it is slated for a 3 p.m. start between Carson-Newman and the host, USC Buford. But that'll do it for game 1. Carson-Newman victorious 8-0 via the run rule. I've been Matt Scalzo. See you in the afternoon for game 2 on the Eagle Sports Network.